Something, yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
There's all the finance questions tonight. Perfect.
Okay, so it's 7 o'clock, so we are going to call the meeting to order. Thanks everyone for joining us, both online and in person. Now at this time, are there any additions to the agenda this evening? Hearing none, I would ask for an approval of the agenda as presented.
So moved.
I'll second. Okay, it's been moved and seconded. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
yes.
Any opposed? Agenda is adopted. First up is a gallery presentation on behalf of Square Roots for Hawkesbury. And I understand that Michelle Dubinsky, not sure if sidekick is assisting or just here for moral support. Okay, so we'll hand things over to you and thank you so much for making time for us this evening.
Thank you for having us. So Yvonne and I are the community managers for Square Roots for Hawkesbury. So the mission of Square Roots, for those of you that do not know, is reducing food waste and increasing food security. Square Roots connects perfectly healthy produce that doesn't meet the cosmetic standards of grocery stores to community members in need. This produce is diverted from being replowed into fields or wasted in landfills and becomes part of healthy, nutritious meals for Canadians. So they classify the produce as seconds, but often it's just regular surplus, and it's actually even better than what we see at the grocery store most of the time.
So Square Roots began approximately 10 years ago with locations only in HRM. Fall of 2024, they began expanding the program throughout locations within Nova Scotia. And in March of 2025, hit a huge milestone of over 1 million pounds of produce saved from the landfill. And that same month, in March of 2025, we began Square Roots Port Hawkesbury. And with that one, we did a pop-up market and gave away
2,700 pounds of free produce.
free products just to give everyone kind of an idea of what we had to offer and get the word out about it. And it went over extremely well. We sell the produce market style. So if someone only wants 1 carrot or 1 potato, they can purchase just what they need. And for a lot of people, that is kind of one of the benefits of it. So then it helps reduce waste for unneeded produce purchased. Square Roots is for everyone. Everyone should have access to nutritionally healthy produce at affordable prices. So it's not for a certain market. And Square Roots helps the farmers because it's giving back to them and their product isn't being wasted. We currently have fed over, just here in our community, from the time we started last March, over 25,000 pounds of products to the community so far. And no produce is wasted. Whatever is not sold at our markets on Saturdays, we donate within the community. It usually will go to Rock Society, Leaside, or then the food bank from there, but we make sure that it's given out to those that need it. Our costs to run the program are mainly purchasing the products, the trucking fees and supplies. We only charge what it costs to run the program, so we can provide the lowest price possible for the produce. And previously, any unsold produce that was left over that we donated, we were able to deduct from our produce purchase invoice, so we didn't suffer a loss. It was just basically in and out. We now have to cover the cost of the donated produce that just changed for this year.
Back in January, they made that change. So now if we have a sale and we don't sell everything, what's left, we have to pay for that. So we only make enough to cover our costs. So we don't really have a surplus of money to cover that at this time. So we had a little pause and we started back again in March, and we had a sellout market. So that was great. And we have another one this Saturday. So hopefully it will be a sellout again. We were able to get a few donations from the community to help give us a little buffer in case we need it so far, but luckily we haven't had to dip into that. But again, that is not the pliable solution. So for our solution one, we made up a couple of different solutions to see what would work best. We could increase the prices of the produce to cover any potential revenue loss from unsold produce. And then the produce that's not sold still get donated within the community, but the increase in prices may reduce produce sales, therefore we have an increase in unsold produce cost. So that's like definitely a no-win situation. I just put a little picture up there of some of our prices. They kind of fluctuate every week and stuff, or every sale, just depending on what the cost is, but that just gives you an idea of how inexpensive they are and affordable. And that like, even, onions aren't on there, but the onions we have are $1 a pound usually, and they're $3 a pound at the grocery store. So this is usually half or a third of the cost of the grocery store, what we sell for. So people's savings could increase if they're buying, spending less on food. So solution two would be that we seek financial donations within the community to help cover costs of unsold produce, which we did to get back up and running. But it's only a short-term solution and would always leave us with an unknown future, as we would be dependent on donations to secure future sales. So if we didn't have any donations, then we would have to stop again. And then our third solution is what we're really here for. Because we need a long-term plan to make anything a success. So we thought about that if we added a community market to our produce sale that's already being held. We manage the market with the revenue from the market table rentals going to Square Roots for Hawkesbury. It helps with foot traffic to the produce sale, because during hockey season, we have a lot of people in and out, but come summer, everybody's busy and it's a really hard time then. It offers a long-term solution to consistent income to ensure produce sales can continue. And excess income will give opportunity to provide additional produce donations within the community. Like we'd like to be able to do another, like a free giveaway at Christmas or Thanksgiving or Easter or back to school, or different times throughout the year when people are spending their money on other things that they could help with a little bit of extra fresh produce in their houses. So that's our solutions. And then our ask.
Our ask is that if the town of Port Hawkesbury could allow us to use the Civic Center in kind for a community market.
And then that way, all the income from the table rentals could go directly to our project. So the plan is that we would invite crafters, artisans, farmers that have homemade crafted grown items to sell. So we're going to help. We're helping the farmers and we want to help other farmers and craftspeople. And we would actually move the market to Wednesdays during the week, because then certain weekends are so busy for everybody that it's like, well, they forgot or they couldn't get here in time and such like that. But we thought on Wednesdays from 4 to 7, we get people going home from work, we get people after supper, before supper, we'd have a good flow, and we hopefully begin in June, allowing time to secure some vendors.
And they'll do it once a week.
Yeah, we started off like with once a month. If they got really, really successful, that worked well, then maybe we might do twice a month, or maybe just twice a month, like November, December for the Christmas. Right. And you know what I mean, like just for special events or something like that. But once a month, I think would be a great, because I'll tell you, the produce lasts. I had brought home carrots in November and I just used them a few weeks ago. I haven't done that from the grocery store since never. So yeah, so it lasts quite a while, the produce, because we were getting it out when it's super fresh versus the store where it's not somewhere in storage waiting to get to the shelf, right? So we get it in the store at the end of the line, but we have it at the front of the line here at Square Roots. So of course it'd be in the main concourse of the Civic Center, and we would provide fresh produce available at great prices, and it'd be opportunity for local vendors to showcase their wares. We always love it when people buy stuff and then they're showing us what they made with it, like whether it be beets or salsas or whichever. Because a lot of the clients will come and buy bulk stuff to be able to do that. So we provided 20 to 25 tables at $25 a table. We asked around, that was a reasonable rate for the tables. And why we would do it? It would create a long-term solution to ensure Square Roots for Oxford can continue. It builds community spirit with having a community market once again, and everyone deserves access to nutritionally healthy produce at an affordable price.
And that's in summary, Square Roots provides a valuable service and an affordable food option to our community. Food prices continue to increase and will continue to increase, making it harder for individuals and family to secure healthy food options. We would like to be able to continue the program here in Port Hawkesbury and ask for your support.
Thank you very much, and I guess we'll open up the floor for questions and comments, but before we do, we're just, first off, thank you so much for bringing this forward. I guess I have a bit of a unique perspective since the Kaylee market was a community-run market that kind of fell under the weight of COVID, and then we have had a for-profit kind of market here that has no longer operational. I really see it as a great fit, and you know, certainly when we did have a community market, I will say that one of the biggest challenges that when we did run the Kaylee market, that council did support in providing kind for the mezzanine area. One of the biggest challenges was having fresh produce. So this seems like a win for win for win for win.
I know, it's hard, like, whenever I go to a market, I'm always like,
Where's the fresh produce? I feel like you've got like a solution upon a solution for.
Yeah, we have like reached out to a couple of just kind of home like business ones that we have, like Mockingbird in that goes to the Antigonish market, that
Yeah.
if you've gone to the Antigonish market, you know, they are lined up consistently in there.
Yeah.
They did attend, I think it was our November market here, and they were lined up at the door to there. They are interested in doing it once a month, especially where it's the Wednesday. We're not competing with Mabu, we're not competing with Antigonish. It's just a short thing once a month that she's actually was quite excited to be at. So that's another person that like we're looking for vendors like that can really draw in something different and kind of bring a little bit different things.
And one last thing, and then we'll open up the floor for questions from council. One thing that we had too was just a table dedicated to like a local organization or not-for-profit that they can kind of share a little bit of what services they provide. So, you know, that might be something there for the.
Yeah, and where it's once a month, you could always rotate it monthly depending on what,
Exactly.
like
Yeah.
some,
Could be Lisa, it could be
Nonprofits have.
Women's Place, it could be,
Yeah.
you know.
Yeah.
why
Each
it's-
month.
Oh, yeah, so it definitely can evolve into all kinds of great things and stuff.
Absolutely.
With music and entertainment.
I promise I will stop monopolizing conversation. So we will start, Paula chairs our community development committee. So I think that we'll start with Paula.
Yeah, I appreciate your, I just took a few notes when you're speaking on that there. I took, for your presentation, I appreciate you guys coming tonight. The work you do ensures that this produce reaches families. It's very commendable in what you're doing. The commitment to reduce food waste while strengthening the community networks, which we spoke about, is, and it's clear volunteers play a huge role. You guys are not profiting from this, so you're,
No.
you know, commend you on
We're
that.
barely making even.
just our time.
We're
Just a lot of it.
Close.
To make this initiative very successful, and I feel it's very important to support such a meaningful difference for sure.
Yeah.
And I think the 4 to 7, you know, it's busy at the gym at that hour most times, and there's still activities going on.
And it's funny you say that because we find like when we're here on Saturdays, we almost get no gym traffic.
Yeah, so,
Like a
but after
couple,
work,
that's
I
it,
think
like
people
barely
are
people go to the gym.
more
You
active.
know, I think the biggest thing is a lot of people don't realize it's for everyone. They think it's for lower income or whatever, but it's not. It's for everyone. And we can never stress that enough because everyone deserves to have fresh produce at affordable prices. And like, I know myself, like, we don't eat a lot of potatoes, so if I want potatoes, I have to go buy a 10-pound bag.
Yeah.
You cook a couple of them, then the rest rots.
Yeah.
But this year, I can just buy a couple of potatoes and then.
And maybe it could be, you know, outside the property on a nice day too, to make it. nice.
Yes.
And I do have some contact of handmade vendors. I used to do a little vendor pop-up at Christmas time for the Leaside, at the, for not Leaside, for the food bank and at the Evergreen. And so I have multiple handmade vendors that would probably be
Yeah.
interested in something like that.
Perfect. Okay.
If you're interested.
We will go.
And our
for-
proceeds, sorry, would go to the food bank.
So Councilor Martina.
No,
You're
I'm
good?
done. Done talking.
Okay, obviously it's an exciting topic, so Deputy Mayor.
Yeah, thank you, Your Worship. No, thank you, ladies. No, totally support it. You know, it is an important cause. Tell me a little bit though, the produce, where does that come? How far away does that produce come from?
So, we get the produce from a farm down the valley, well, actually two farms. So of course, we usually have 19, 20 items at each sale, depending on what's available. But of course, we don't grow oranges in Nova Scotia, so they might be from Egypt, the oranges. Sweet potatoes might be from Mexico, but like the stuff that we do have locally, like tomatoes and potatoes and carrots and corn and like all that kind of stuff. Is like Nova Scotia or it's PEI or might be Quebec or something like that. It's as local as can be at the time.
Right.
And
But we're
that,
still buying it from the farmers, like they're sourcing it from
like their
their
farm
sources.
their farm network.
In there, so we're still buying it from like local farms, say, for here. So it'd be the same ones that, you know, Sobeys and are being sourced from for a lot of like some of their local stuff. But we just are able to get the seconds, but it's really
The first.
just shaped differently sometimes.
Thank you. Yeah, that's good.
No problem, Councilor Ford.
Thank you, Your Worship. Thanks for the presentation. So there was a change in the operations since when, January?
January, they changed it that normally like if we had a sale and we had a bunch of produce left over, we would just take in either like sometimes when the clients from the Rock would come over and they'd shop to the house. You know, we give it to them, whatever they wanted out of it, and then we drop stuff off at Leaside or the food bank or we know different families within town that we do a box for and drop off to them and stuff like that. So there'd be no waste, and then we would get credit off our invoice what we donated. But now they changed it that we have to pay for what we donate from our sales, which we only charge enough to break even.
And that's because of their funding, like they had funding kind of throughout the years
Yep.
that they've been able to support that. But now that they've grown, because I think there's 14 locations in all of Nova Scotia, it's been that they don't have that extra funding to support everyone, so they're putting it back to the groups that they kind of either have to. And it's hard because if you're unable to judge your traffic, you know, whether you have a busy day or not, the market definitely would help that because you're drawing more people in. And I think help us sell our fact that it's for everyone, because when you're set up in the market, everybody's shopping everyone, where you're just set up on your own. Sometimes, even with the hockey, people are like, is this open for anyone? And tell me about it. And so, we do our best we can at getting the word out, but it's still people that feel like, they shouldn't be buying it, that it's for
Yeah, even when
a
we
certain demographic.
even when we did our first big giveaway, people were like, oh, no, I'll leave it for someone else. I'm like, it all has to go. We don't want to go to waste. If you don't want to take it and give it to your neighbor. Like,
That's right.
I tell people all the time, you know what, just buy something. We do a 10-pound mixed bag. It was one of the first slides. There's usually like 2 pounds of carrots in it. A big onion, 4 apples, 4 oranges, and the rest is potatoes. So it might be about 5 pounds of potatoes. So it's $10 for 10 pounds. So I'm always telling people, buy one for your neighbor down the road or something. Stop in, have a visit, bring them the produce. Who wouldn't love to get, a little bag of fresh produce and stuff? Because I know I love that in summertime and someone comes and brings produce out of their gardens. I'm like, yes, sir. But it was hard to get everybody to understand, like, no, this is for everyone. Everybody can have it. It's not just for any specific group or anything. It's for
So,
everyone.
so the Rock and Leaside and the food bank, they now have to pay to take on?
No, we would
We
pay.
would pay for
We
it.
would donate
We
to
would
them.
pay for what we give them.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, so before we used to get a credit back for whatever we donated. Now we would have to pay for
We would-
whatever
We,
we had left over to donate. Which then if we're only breaking even,
Mhm.
we don't have those funds to give.
no,
Which makes it different because we're not working as a profit, like a
Right.
business to make money. We're just working to sell what we bring in.
Yeah.
So then that's why we had to pause for a while. Guysborough, basically, they have the same setup. They pause at the same time as us and
So
are trying to reset up and get started, and then, yeah, Discus has it, so the truck that delivers to us delivers to those two at the same time. So we kind of all did a pause to try to regroup and figure out how we can keep getting it going. And the same, I think this only has been doing once a month. We were doing twice a month, and so was Guysborough. But we're thinking if we can continue once a month, it's maybe easier. And I know Guysborough's been quite successful with theirs as well.
Great, thank you. Thank you.
Councilwoman.
Thank you for your presentation. I learned a lot this evening. And this seems to help alleviate by the prices. I'm understanding a third off the big box stores or Sobeys, and that's significant. So that definitely should help food insecurity to some extent.
Mhm.
And I think the town should be supportive of your enterprise. You listed 3 solutions. And one solution that I was hoping to have heard but didn't, and you're not a big team, but I wonder if pre-order sales or anything like that would help, so you don't have.
That's how we started off, just to get our feel of how much we needed. So when we first started out, we did do pre-sales, pre-orders and stuff. But it would take like 8 to 10 of us, 6
Yeah.
hours on a Friday night to bag up those sales, and that's just way too much.
So it's labor intensive for you guys,
It's a very time
time
consuming,
consuming.
and then you get to Saturday and people come and we'd have whatever was surplus from filling the orders for sale and stuff like that. But then people wouldn't come show up for their orders either sometimes. Do you know what I mean? So it's not, or
So,
I'd be there at midnight emailing people how much their thing was, so they could at least e-transfer and pay for it, you know what I mean?
yeah,
And remind them that they needed to come pick it up, but
so where I understand from the problem is the models change in the sense that leftover produce is on your guys' time, right?
Yeah.
we
Okay,
have to absorb it.
so I'm just trying to brainstorm, and I'm sure you guys have figured all this out, but I'm just gonna ask, and you can tell me, and you answered one of them. It's too time consuming for your small team to
Yeah.
get pre-orders, so you eliminate the excess products that's unsold.
Cause the whole idea is to just have market stock.
Yeah,
People come,
so,
like in New Glasgow, they only sell 10-pound bags, that's it. They just.
so the next question is this. If you can't do pre-orders, and we're gonna be stuck with unsold produce and that. The other thing I'm hearing is that you guys are telling us that the community, and I agree with you, thinks it's for a certain demographic. So you could change that, maybe you could sell more of your produce and have less unsold
It's
produce.
getting better. Like
What's making it get better?
it's getting better that people are,
What's making it get better?
because we keep telling people all the time, it's for
Okay.
everyone.
Like,
We're always telling. it's for
Yeah, keep doing
everyone,
that.
everyone.
Yeah.
And through the hockey
The
season.
media
it
is here
definitely
tonight.
helped. Yeah, for
Oh,
sure.
yeah,
So,
we
you know,
talk-
use them.
We
Yeah.
talk lots.
Yeah, well, use them tonight.
Shamelessly using it.
Well, that's a problem, and they're trying to help
But
food
it's-
security,
yeah.
but at the same time, like, I wanna be supportive, but. You know, you have an ask,
Mhm.
which is for us to give,
Yes.
and, if you could solve that problem, maybe you wouldn't have that ask, right? Maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, so unless we have a complete sellout, we're always gonna have leftover produce.
So,
Because we need the foot traffic in the civic
Yeah.
center. It's great, it's fine during hockey season. But come
so would it be
summer-
helpful if we gave you the space until you sold it all, and then that's not a problem, then you can pay?
I don't think you understand how it works.
So. You're looking for space for free.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we want you to be successful with your own job. If you just could sell all your produce and had no waste. Would you be able to pay for the space or no?
You mean still doing
Do
the
it
market?
all the time?
Yeah.
Oh, then we probably
Yeah.
could, but we have
Potentially
no
with the
buck
market part.
until we
because
get
of
up and get
profit
going and,
Bringing in.
you know what I mean? Like it doesn't have to be long term that we get it in kind. We could
Yeah.
eventually say, okay, you know what, we don't need it in kind
Like
anymore.
for years.
You know what I mean? Like we
Get these
reevaluate.
people to help get the word out and they'll help that part.
And if the market's successful and we're able to get vendors that are consistently set up and paying.
Yeah.
Then we have a steady stream of coming in, then that totally changes it. So then once we have that commitment from them, then yeah, then maybe it's a point that, we can pay a fee each week and then.
My last
kind of
comment is-
push it back to the community.
Bingo. My last comment is my wife likes to bargain, so I want to tell her that.
Definitely.
You like.
I think she's been to the sale before.
Well, then I've eaten your produce.
But that's the thing is like, it's on every post, it's always like, it's for everyone. Like, we're always like, everyone, everyone. Like, we tell everybody all the time, it's everyone.
It's great what you're doing to help
Did you know
food
about
insecurity
Square
problem.
Roots before today? Did you know about Square Roots before today?
I did, but I don't buy groceries.
No, but what did you know about it? Tell us what you knew about Square Roots.
I knew that it was in the Brockton Civic Center, it's all I knew.
Yeah.
And I had an inclination that it was to help, that there was a good deal, but I didn't buy it. I'm going to now.
We're gonna go together on Saturday.
You mean Susan's coming to buy it?
That was half questions,
I'm gonna
half
pre-order.
comments, and half confessional.
I'd like to pre-order some.
Well, we do take some pre-order, we do pre-orders for mixed bags. But I only have I only have orders for 6 of them this week.
Okay.
I think I had 13 last sale.
Apparently 7.
But a lot of
I missed
people
the
like
order window,
buying
but
individual and not like the
yeah,
10-pound bag.
because they want to pick their own and stuff. And we will do a bulk order, like say you wanted a bunch of tomatoes or a bunch of green peppers or whatever,
Canning
like
season, we have
like
a lot of people. like,
5 pounds or more, like someone's buying beets, they might get asked us for a whole 25-pound bag of beets, you know what I mean, like. That's right. And that there, so we do pre-orders for that kind of stuff, but we put the order in, had been by 1 o'clock today for Saturday, so.
Yeah.
You know, so the orders the weekend before the sale.
Yeah, and Councillor Hurd had a follow-up question.
Just a comment. I have to believe my ignorance was that I think I showed up a few times, but I was afraid that I would be taken from somebody, so
No,
I was
no, we
nervous
tell people all the
about, I
time, you're
had showed
not.
up and walked in and I left because I thought, but Ian and I are going Saturday. And,
You're not taking they're not favorite clients.
Yeah.
So you're not.
so
taking
my
from
other,
anyone.
a
'Cause they're not
question, I
there.
guess, would you consider something at the waterfront? And I don't want to go to another community, but I know how successful they are at, in Mulgrave, and they do their evening by the sea.
Yes, they are, but we actually went there a couple times last year.
But would you
Once-
consider like
Yeah,
our
this was-
waterfront?
We went, I think twice last summer, and set up like some of
Yeah.
our excess and set up over there to try to sell.
And to get the word out.
I was just thinking through the festival and stuff. I was just wondering if that.
It is possible. The only thing is that when you have like 1,500 pounds of produce, it's not that easy to move around. You need refrigeration. You need, like, it's not like the truck is just pulling in on Saturday morning at the waterfront and it's all going. And we'd still need the foot traffic. It'd be lovely to have something at the
I was just
waterfront, but
thinking
unless
that's a
there's something else there.
Festival. type
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, like it, I mean, that's what I mean. We can plan it around the festival, like.
Yeah,
I know Canada Day is on a Wednesday, so chances are you won't be able to have a market that day, but maybe we have the market the next day or something. And then, because we have the option to get the produce delivered on a Wednesday or our Friday nights. So, so we could work it into that way. It's just a matter of just planning ahead so it coincides. If that's what we would really like to do, you know what I mean? Like, is to have, I'd love for it to be at the waterfront, but it's just not, it's a lot of lugging
yeah, it would
and
depend.
no, and
We had
not,
that
and
conversation
not that
last night.
foot, not that foot traffic there too.
I was just thinking
Keep it
like
going.
through the festival.
You know what I mean? If
on the
there's
Saturday,
more there,
Sundays, there's something
then-
down there.
It would be great for the summer to be down there and stuff like that, but until we get more down there.
No, that's great. And I mean, there could be, as the waterfront development, continues, I mean, there could be a permanent venue down there for a market. So I mean, maybe at some future opportunity, it would be a
Yes.
good fit.
Yeah.
And I guess just lastly, if there's no other questions or comments.
I should say, we'll see you Saturday.
I feel like Paul is kind of cornered you into a couple commitments. Councillor Langley. But does I see this as I think a mutually beneficial solution because, you know, we've got to be one of the only towns in Nova Scotia who no longer has an active market. Which I think that, so I feel like it kind of usually meets a couple of needs and certainly if it helps to, you know, create a situation where you do have a, you know, no cost or at least a little, you know, creates a buffer for you and it also helps resolve something that we need and resolve obviously something that you need. The only other thing that I would add If there is a surplus, it would be nice to make some contacts with maybe some local businesses who use all of those products.
we have reached out to some and stuff and
Yeah,
like, but they just never followed up, and one actually has bought some stuff from us.
yeah, no.
And that, but just not on a consistent.
And that could be like a little bit of a fail safe so that you're not, if there is like a particularly slow market day, then, could be. Yeah, anyway, so, but other than that,
I like
thank
the
you so
food
much
Yeah,
for your time. You
Yes.
had everybody
we supply.
very engaged here tonight.
We supply oranges to the food bank.
Yeah.
Like,
They buy
they
them
buy
from
them
us.
regularly, they have a standing order for oranges.
Yeah, no,
It's
that's
cheaper for
fantastic.
them to buy from us than. and
Yes,
get
no,
them.
that's something, and maybe there could be,
Regular.
some other kind of contacts so that, it's, and, folks that would take some stuff off your hands so that you can kind of break even. Awesome. Okay, well, thank you.
Thank you.
These guys have, you got them all excited, and I hope that the rest of the council meeting will be as equally exciting. Thank you so much for coming.
Thank you.
All right. So we'll move on now to acknowledgements, and I'll make a few acknowledgements and I'll open up the floor if there's any other acknowledgements the council would like to share. Obviously, just, extending, obviously, our post-Easter weekend, just over the past weekend. Everybody had a safe and happy Easter. Also, Sikh Heritage Month for April. Also in April is Genocide Remembrance, Condemnation, and Prevention Month. April 9th is the anniversary of the Battle of Vimy Ridge. And the second Wednesday of April is International Day of Pink. I also wanted to take the opportunity to congratulate all the organizers and Strait area players for the successful Girls U18 AA provincial tournament that was hosted here. I had the opportunity to grab the puck during the opening ceremony with Chief Julia from Backward First Nation. So that was really great to see. There was a huge crowd here over the weekend at the Civic Center. So congratulations to the organizers and as always, our staff who makes everything seamless when when things are organized in that fashion. So just open up the floor if there's any other acknowledgements. We'll move on then to approval of our council minutes. So for March 3rd, 2026, I would ask at this time if there are any errors or omissions to that set of meeting minutes. And we'll move on to business arising from the minutes.
Yes, your worship, and your other business, number 12, Fort Hastings Visitor Information Center, is there? I know this in the minutes reference made that maybe this was from our public meeting, March 3rd, but it'll be discussed at another committee of the whole. But is there any sort of update on where things are with Inverness County Council and?
Yeah, I think the plan was to have that discussion at our committee of the whole. It will
Right.
be happening in 2 weeks' time, and I believe our senior staff will be conferring with Inverness County staff, as was, I guess, what was discussed at the last time we did talk on this topic. And if there is any, I guess, anything that we can do to support whatever actions are being taken on behalf of Inverness County, that we would be supportive to that action. But I think we need to find out a little bit more information on what they're doing. I don't think anything has been concretely defined.
Yeah, Madam Chair, to my knowledge, there's just been work in identifying what the scope of establishing a visitor information center would look like. And the costs and the impacts, both positive and the costs. So that work is happening with Destination Cape Breton and municipalities. But there's no concrete framework at this point, to my knowledge.
Yeah, so if we do have something, I guess, to buy our committee of the whole in 2 weeks' time, we'll definitely continue that conversation. Anything else in business horizon? Okay, we'll move on to council committee reports. Terry, do you want to take us through the report coming from committee of the whole?
Yes, sure. So the there's actually a number of financial issues that are arising here. There's 2 resolutions that we have to deal with. So I'm gonna hand it over to our Director of Finance to take us through those 2 issues. Oh, I'm sorry, and starting with the local procurement study, which our Director of Finance had looked after as well.
All eyes are on you, Brian.
Yes,
Okay.
you're not right.
Switch that out, Terry, it's on you. Yeah, so we had a motion coming to council, this evening. We discussed, our opportunity to participate in a local procurement study to redirect any purchases that we can from outside of our community back into that community. So, just ask council to consider the following motion. That the town of Port Hawkesbury enter into a participant agreement for the Cape Breton local procurement cohort with the Center for Local Prosperity at a cost of $2,500.
Thank you, Brian. What is the wishes of council?
That makes a motion.
Okay, do we have a seconder?
Second that.
Okay, the motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
Okay, the second item that's come up, this is actually a 2-part resolution. One follows the other. This relates to the debenture issue that was discussed related to the Public Works building reconstruction. The first item is a temporary borrowing resolution. So this would go to the Minister of Municipal Affairs to sign off to allow us the ability to borrow the 1.7 million through a debenture through Department of Finance. So I'm going to ask the council to consider this motion that the town of Port Hawkesbury approves a temporary borrowing resolution for the Public Works building reconstruction in the amount of $1.7 million.
Thank you, Brian. What is the wish of council?
So moved.
You have a seconder? Awesome. Thank you. Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries.
So the follow-up to that is staff needs council to do a pre-approval on the debenture issue. So this sets the parameters as to what town will actually borrow. So this resolution is asking that council approve the issuance of debenture in the spring offering through the province. I'll just flip to the other slide because it's readable. That the town of Port Hawkesbury approves the issuance of a debenture not to exceed $1.7 million over a period not to exceed 20 years at an average rate, interest rate not to exceed 7%. For the Public Works building reconstruction.
Okay, thank you, Brian. What is the wishes of council?
That makes a motion.
Okay, do we have a seconder?
I'll second.
Okay, all those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
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 Any opposed? Okay, motion carries.
Next. Do you want me to cover this one too, Jerry?
Well, I can.
So I'll take this one too. This is related to the waterfront destination development agreement.
Just get on the.
As discussed, this is a cost sharing agreement between the yacht club contributing 3,000, the waterfront destination development, or sorry, what's the Coastal Business Opportunities Incorporated, and the town of Port Hawkesbury. The town's portion would be roughly $7,000, including taxes. So we ask the council to consider the motion that the town of Port Hawkesbury enter in a service agreement with Adam Langley Developments Inc. at a total cost of $15,000 with contributions from the Strait Area Yacht Club and Coastal Business Opportunities Incorporated for the Port Hawkesbury Waterfront Destination Development Project brief.
Thank you.
Your worship, I'd like to, as the vendor has the same last name as mine and distantly related, I'd like to declare a conflict.
Okay, thank you. We'll record that for the minutes, that has been Conflict has been declared. So a motion is on.
I so move.
It's been moved. Do we have a seconder?
Also,
Okay, the motion has been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And
So,
that's a report for community.
okay, thank you.
Next with heavy lifting on that one.
Special session, Terry. Thank you, Terry.
For the record.
No. All right, so we have our council minutes for March 17th, 2026. I'd ask at this time if there are any errors or omissions from this set of minutes. And if there are none, I would ask for a motion to approve that set of minutes.
So moved.
So we do have a mover set of minutes to
Second.
adopt. Yes, seconder. All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Yes. Any opposed? Minutes are adopted, and I would ask at this time if there are any business arising from that set of minutes. Okay. So now we'll move on to any motions coming from in camera. Do we have any?
Yes, your worship. So this goes to the in-camera session of March 17th, 2026.
Okay.
Motion for considerations that the town of Roxbury enter into a memorandum of understanding with the municipalities of the county of Victoria, Inverness, and Richmond to support the implementation of a regional emergency management organization. So this is the first part. There's going to be follow-up pieces to this. So we have a draft intermunicipal agreement that will come before you for your review. And there's an amended emergency measures bylaw that will ask for consideration. We'll bring both of those documents forward at the April 21st committee of whole.
Okay, thank you, Terry. What is the wishes of council?
We'll do the accept the motions.
So the motion has been moved and seconded. Any discussion on the motion? All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Okay, so that concludes our in-camera motions. We'll move on to correspondence. We do have one piece of correspondence from the Eastern District Planning Commission appointments. Over to you, Terry, to review.
Yes, your worship. So we'd like council to consider, this is a request from Eastern District Planning. This is an annual renewal of adoption of several positions that will act on the town's behalf. And this is the recommendation from Eastern District Planning. First of all, that we adopt the utilization for building inspectors of is Andre Sampson and Sean Donovan, with assistant building inspectors and alternates as listed. For development officers, Michaela Tate, with alternates and assistants. Fire inspection, Andre Sampson with alternates as listed. Dangerous and unsightly premises, with the administrator Sean Donovan and John Bain with alternates as listed. And special constable, building, fire codes, dangerous and unsightly premises, land use bylaw. That's Sean Donovan and Jonathan Martin. So that special constables have the ability to issue summary offense tickets as well.
Okay, thank you, Terry. What is the wishes of the council on that adoption?
I'll move.
Okay, do we have a seconder?
yes,
Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. And there is the motion.
Thank you.
So we don't have any proclamations or resolutions this evening, so we'll move on to other business. So Straight Area Women's Place flag raising request, and it is on behalf of Sexual Assault Awareness Month during April 2026. There was the same request that had come forward last year. So just for the benefit of council, since this is also a request comes forward, for flag raising, on behalf of Autism Nova Scotia. The practice as of last year was to share the month of April, so that for half of the month, the sexual assault awareness flag will be raised, and for the other half of the month, the Autism Nova Scotia flag will be raised. So we will need a formal motion of council to approve that. Again, however, we will bake this into our flag raising list, so that when we do approve that annually, we don't have to worry about doing this one in particular anymore. It'll just be an automatic procedure in terms of our flag raising agenda for the year. So what is the wishes of council?
If I move it, we, accept motion to support February Women's to fly the flag.
Second.
Okay, thank you. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries. Our next item is Growing for Hawkesbury Advisory Appointment. I'll hand things over to our Deputy Mayor, Todd Barrett.
Thank you, Your Worship. Yeah, I'd like to move that we add Travis McDonald to our Growing for Hawkesbury Committee. Travis comes with experience from the Canadian Coast Guard and he teaches out at NSCC, and I think he'd be a nice addition to our committee, a little bit younger. Nice to infuse a little bit of that. Not to say that we're all old, but
Of course not.
but yeah, I'd like to move that we add Travis to our committee.
Okay, thank you very much, Deputy Mayor. Do we have a seconder?
I'll second that.
Okay, so the motion for consideration has been seconded. Any discussion? All those in favor, please signify by saying yes.
Yes.
Any opposed? Motion carries, and we will add Travis McDonald to our membership of the Growing for Hawkesbury Advisory Committee. Thank you, Deputy Mayor. Move on now to council expenses. So Terry.
Yes, your worship, as for every month, we post the, traveling expenses for, mayor, councilors and CAO. For the month of March, we have a total expenditure of $6,254. This will be available, it's available online every month, for public review.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Terry, for the addition. So we'll move on to future meetings. So committee of the whole, in 2 weeks' time will take place on Tuesday, April 21st. And then, as always, the first Tuesday of every month will be our next public meeting of the council on May 5th, 2026. And we can take this opportunity for any public questions that are on any of our agenda items, any items on our agenda. Okay, going once, going twice, going 3 times. And we have finished all of our items on our agenda, so we will adjourn. And thank you everyone for coming this evening.